everyone, this is CA Shrejal and I welcome you all to my channel, The Commerce Bench. So today we will be continuing with our series of lectures that was based on financial statements with adjustments. We had done till question number 7 in our previous lecture. I am going to continue with question number 8 today. One disclaimer again, as I give in all the videos, that I will not be solving the whole question with you, because if you want to see the whole question revision now, you can go to question number 1 in this series only. I'll give you the link in the description box. Go there once, watch the whole video, ki which things are placed where, then you can come back here and solve the adjustments. Then it will be a cakewalk for you. And also, please watch both the lectures before coming here that I had done previously, that means till question number 7, because the level of questions keeps getting up and up. Okay, and it is important you understand the previous adjustments, then it will become very easy for you. These adjustments that we will be doing from now on. Fine? Okay, enough disclaimers for now. So now I'm going to start this question. Please read with me. Okay, let's read. So following balances have been given to us. One trial balance has been given. What we have to do is prepare trading, profit and loss account and our balance sheet as always. Fine, I will start from the adjustments like I always do, and then I will come to my trial balance items. What do we do? What is the basic rule in this? Ki whatever things are given outside the trial balance, we are going to adjust it twice, because these have not been adjusted anywhere in the books. This is additional information. This all, we got the information about all of this after 31st March 2000 and whatever financial year we are talking about. Fine. And about this, all of this is already adjusted in the books. Everything that is given inside the trial balance, it is already adjusted. Hence, everything that is given inside the trial balance has to be adjusted only once. This is the basic rule that you have to remember. This has to be adjusted only once. These things have to be adjusted at least at 2 places. Got your basic rule? Now let's start. Closing stock was valued at 7,50,000 rupees. So we do the closing stock, we write it on the credit side of the trial balance. So by closing stock 7,50,000, this is the first place that we write it in, and then we write it here and on the asset side. Okay, I am using short forms, you don't have to use it in your examinations. Fine. So closing stock is something that I can sell in future and I'll get some money from it. Hence, it is my asset. I will write it in the asset side of balance sheet. So 2 places I have adjusted it in. First is the trading account and second is the balance sheet. Okay. Next is depreciate machinery by 10% and furniture by 20%. So our assets have been given and we have to depreciate them. So what do we have? We have furniture over here and we have plant and machinery over here. Okay. Now these are unadjusted balances, means no depreciation has been adjusted from here. These are undepreciated values. Fine. So what we have to do is we have to calculate 10% on plant and machinery. So let's just come here and suppose my trading account is ending over here. So where will I treat my depreciation? First I will write it off as an expense in my profit and loss account. So I will write like this: to depreciation on plant and machinery and on furniture. So on 2,40,000 rupees, 10% will be 24,000 rupees, and furniture was how much? 15,000, I guess, 15,000. Pay we'll do 20%, so this will become 3,000 rupees. 3,000 we'll write here, total becomes 27,000 rupees ka depreciation we have provided in the profit and loss account till now. Now we have to treat this depreciation at 2 places because it was given outside the trial balance. The second place will be assets. How are we going to do it? Plant and machinery ka full amount you will write, 2,40,000, the undepreciated value. Now I will reduce this depreciation from here, 24,000 rupees. And how much will it be? This will be 2,16,000. And then same thing I'll do for furniture. It was 15,000. I'll reduce the depreciation from here. It was 3,000. So it will become 12,000 rupees. Finally, I have now written the depreciated values over here. Now I am trying to show everybody who is reading my balance sheet ki dekho bhai, my assets are actually at 2,16,000 and 12,000. This was the undepreciated value. So I will not show this. I will give a presentation for this, but the final value is this only. I just want to show this to the people who are reading my balance sheet. ठीक है, I just want to give a true and fair view. Fine, we have written it at two places. Now let's come back here. Wages 50,000 rupees and salaries 20,000 rupees were outstanding. Outstanding means what? We had to pay this in this year only. We have taken the services from our laborers and our office people, whoever are working in my office. I have taken the services from them, but I have not paid them yet. But I have taken the services in this year, so this expense also belongs to this year. So I will find wages first. Where is wages? Wages is here, and where is salaries? Salaries is here. So 2,40,000 rupees salaries and wages are 4 lakh rupees. Now let's see how we are going to treat it. Wages, where do we write wages? First, you write whatever is given inside the trial balance. So it was 4 lakh rupees, right? 4 lakh rupees so is something that we have already given to our laborers. But it is telling me we also have some outstanding wages, bhai. How much is my outstanding wages? 50,000 rupees. Means we should have given this 50,000 also now, but we have not given. So I have to follow my accrual concept still. What does accrual concept say? Ki I have to record my expenses when they occur. When is this 50,000 occurring? In this year only, so I have to record it. So whether I have paid my expenses or I have not paid, if it belongs to this year, then I am going to show it as an expense in my trading profit and loss account. Got it? Same goes for salary. So I am going to write my salary. Salaries always come in profit and loss account. I think it was 2,40,000 and 20,000 was outstanding. Plus outstanding salary 20,000. This will become 2,60,000. The exact amount that should come in my profit and loss account, because this is the amount of services that I have taken from my office people. Got it? Fine. So wages and salary was inside the trial balance, this amount and this amount. So I have written it only once. But this 50,000 rupees and 20,000 was outstanding. It was written outside the trial balance. So I am going to adjust it at two places. What is going to be the second place? Outstanding wages is 50,000. Now outstanding salaries was 20,000. I am going to write it as a liability in my balance sheet because this is something that I have to pay in future to my workers. Got it? Fine. Now, this is an important point. Please note, I am going to give you a very good summary also for this because this people find it very difficult sometimes. So I will give you a good summary for this as well. So write off 50,000 as further bad debts and create 5% provision for doubtful debts. Then you also have to create a provision for discount on debtors at the rate of 2%. This is just too much. Now let's understand how we are going to do this. First thing, you find your sundry debtors. 4 lakh rupees are your sundry debtors. Okay. Then find everything related to sundry debtors. What can it be? Sundry debtors, and then you're going to find bad debts. Then you're going to find whether you have any old provision for doubtful debts and whether you have any old provision for discount on debtors. Whatever things are given here, now you find whether you already have it inside the trial balance or not. So let's find it. Bad debts, so we have 10,000 rupees bad debts we are having. So whether we have any old provisions for discount or maybe debtors, no, we don't have any old provisions. So this is a good news for us. This becomes easier. What are we going to do? Understand that this 10,000 rupees is already adjusted in this 4 lakh rupees. I have already given explanations for this in the previous video. So please watch it there. Okay? I am not going to explain it again and again over here. This is just a revision video. I am just going to tell this 10,000 is already adjusted in 4 lakh rupees. Okay, fine. How are we going to treat this? First though, I am going to write in my profit and loss account the bad debts that have already happened. That is already given inside the trial balance. First, we always write that. This is my first rule. So my 10,000 rupees bad debts have already happened in this year. That is given inside the trial balance. Now next, after 31st March, I got to know that 50,000 rupees have also again gone bad. My debts. So means what? My bad debts have increased now. So I will increase it as further bad debts 50,000 rupees. That means my total bad debts were to actually 60,000. I am going to write it like this. Now this I have adjusted at one place. Now I have to forget this, no other adjustment is required. But this I have to adjust at two places. How are we going to do it? First, write your sundry debtors balance. How much was my sundry debtors? Sundry debtors were 4 lakh. So 4 lakh rupees you are going to write here. I have told you the bad debts that were given inside the trial balance have already been adjusted. So I just have to adjust the further bad debts. I'll subtract it from here, 50,000 rupees only. Okay, 3,50,000 rupees. What am I trying to show over here? That please see that from 4 lakh rupees sundry debtors also, I got to know after 31st March ki 50,000 more I am never going to get. This has gone bad. So I am just going to receive 3,50,000 rupees. Dekho, my balance sheet is showing ki I am going to receive only 3,50,000 rupees in future from my debtors. This is what I am trying to show over here. Okay. Now let's read further. 50,000 ka treatment though we have done. I also have to create a provision for doubtful debts at 5%. And in my previous videos, I have already told that this 5% will be created after reducing the further bad debts amount. So means 5% will be created on 3,50,000. So how much is, if you calculate 5%, it will be 17,500. How are we going to do this? How are we going to make the provision? In profit and loss account, we are going to set this aside. New provision for doubtful debts and 17,500 I am going to steal from my profits and store it in a piggy bank. Fine. This is kind of, you can understand it in this way. 17,500 I have stolen and stored it somewhere. Now, second place that I am going to adjust it in is new provision for doubtful debts. 17,500 I am going to reduce from here. This becomes 33,2500. Okay, this is my final balance now. I am trying to tell ki bhai dekho, after removing the 17,500 of doubtful debts, okay, because I am expecting people might default on this 17,500 in future. Hence, I am telling my people who are seeing my balance sheet ki dekho, I am expecting only 3,32,500 from my debtors. Okay. This we have done. Now also create provision for discount on debtors. Third thing. Now I have to create this 2% also on this amount now. So this goes stage by stage. First you will adjust your further bad debts, then you will adjust your new provision for doubtful debts, then you will adjust your provision for discount on debtors. What is provision for discount on debtors? Basically, I am expecting that in future I might have to give some huge amount of discounts to my debtors, because it is important for my business to go on. You know, it is important to impress my clients by giving them good discounts. So I am preparing for it beforehand, you can say that. So this 2% of discount on debtors we are going to create on this amount, 3,32,500. So let's find it out. It is 6650. How are we going to create it? Any provision that you are creating, any new provision, you will create on the debit side of profit and loss account. So similarly, we are going to create a provision here, just like we did over here. So 6650 we have done. And second treatment that we are going to do is here, minus new provision for discount, 6650. Final amount we are going to write over here, that is 3,25,850. I am trying to show my people that look, I am finally going to receive this amount. I am expecting this amount after reducing all the provisions also. Fine. This is due to the prudence concept that we are showing this amount to my people who are reading my balance sheet. Because I just want them to see ki dekho, after reducing all the losses, this is the final amount that I am going to get. This is what my prudence concept says, right? Okay. Now, I would like you to see a very good summary that is going to help you very much in your examinations. Since we have seen everything related to the sundry debtors, we have seen further bad debts, we have seen provision for doubtful debts and provision for discount. Now let's see a summary how you are going to treat everything if it comes in the examination. See, first, step by step we are going to see. First we look at everything that is given inside the trial balance. Let's see that first. What are we going to do? Pick sundry debtors from the trial balance, place it into the balance sheet on the asset side. First step. Second, Find bad debts. If there are any bad debts inside the trial balance, you are going to see that and place it in the profit and loss accounts debit side as a loss. Okay. Next step. If you have any old provision for doubtful debts, what are you going to do then? It will be given inside the trial balance. Pick it up from there and write it on the credit side of the profit and loss account. No matter whether it is more than your new provision or less than your new provision, do not worry about it. Just write it on the PL accounts credit side. Okay. Fourth point, what are you going to do on the fourth step? Find if there is any old provision for discounts on debtors that is given inside the trial balance, and you are going to do the same thing as you did over here. In the PL accounts credit side, you are going to write it and cancel it off. Both of these now we are just writing them off, cancelling them off. Fine. Okay. Now we are everything that was given inside the trial balance, we have dealt with that. Now we are going to deal with the things that are given outside the trial balance. How? First, find further bad debts. If it is given outside the trial balance, so obviously we are going to adjust it at two places. To get two places, at least two places you have to adjust this, and this has to be done at least at one place. So one places, so we have done it. And here we are going to do this at least at two places. First place will be, you are going to add it to my bad debts that were given over here, add it here. And if no bad debts was given inside the trial balance, now just write it on the debit side of the profit and loss account. There is no problem. It just has to be on the debit side of the profit and loss account. That's it. Second place that you will adjust it in is balance sheet may say you will reduce it from the sundry debtors, just like we did over here. Sundry debtors may say we reduced it. Second, then what are we going to do? Find if you have to create any new provision for doubtful debts. You have to then find the percentage, what percentage we have to do, and create it on this amount that you have got after reducing further bad debts. Okay, you found out the value, how much new provision you have to create. So where are you going to create it? PL accounts debit side. First write it off there. Then balance sheet may say reduce it from the sundry debtors. Third and final step, if you have to maintain any provision on discount, provision for discount, then you have to look at the percentage, how much percentage it is, and apply it on the final amount that you have got after reducing your new provision for doubtful debts. On that you applied it, and final amount you got ki how much provision you have to create it from the profit and loss accounts debit side. You have to write it first place. Second place, balance sheet may say again finally reduce it from the sundry debtors, and you are going to show the final amount in on the outer column of the balance sheet on your asset side, just like we did over here. Pause this video, look at whatever I told once more related to this sundry debtors adjustment, and take a screenshot of this summary. It is going to help you out a lot in your exam, trust me on this. Okay, I hope you took a screenshot of this. Now we are going to continue our question. Come back. One final adjustment was left. Investments were made on 1st July 2022 and no interest has been received so far. Find out where have we made an investment. See, we have 6% of investments, 5 lakh rupees ka investments we have done, but we have not received any interest on that. Let's calculate how much interest should we have received. On 5 lakh, we should have received 6% के हिसाब से. If you see on 1st July we made the investment. So how much are we going to calculate for how many months? July, August, September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March. 9 months का interest we have to calculate on 5 lakh rupees. Let's calculate it. 22,500 का interest we should have got till now. But let's see whether we have got any interest. They have told us that no interest has been received so far, so we don't need to find anything. I did not read this line properly. So 22,500 is something that we should have received in this year, means this is accrued interest for me. This is income which I have earned but not received yet. I am going to write it first place in the profit and loss account as my income by accrued interest on investment. How much? 22,500. Also show your calculation over here ki how you got this amount. Fine. Then after that, second place that we are going to write it in is in my asset side, because in future I will receive it. So accrued interest 22,500 you can write over here. That's it. We are done with our question now. All the adjustments we have done. Fine. Here one last thing I am discussing. You sometimes get items like patents. Okay? You must have read patents, what patents are. So basically, if you have done any scientific discovery or any formula, anything like that, then you are going to do a patent for it. So this is basically your asset side of the balance sheet. You are going to place it on the asset side. Okay, this is the only thing that I wanted to discuss, because this is not something you get in every question. So this is here we got it, so I just discussed it. It's a small point. Fine, we are done with the whole question. There is no new point in here, so we are going to move to the next question. Let's read question number 9. Again we have to do the same thing. Mahesh's account we are making now, so let's do this. We are going to start from the adjustments as always. First thing is closing stock was 21,000 rupees. So I will first adjust here by closing stock 21,000 rupees. In my trading accounts credit side I have written. Next I will write it as an asset because this will give me money in future. Fine. This is done. Rent of 1200 has been received in advance. I have received some rent in advance. So first I have to see how much rent have I received in total. Let's come to the credit side. Rent I have received 5,000 rupees ki rent I have received, but it is telling me out of this 5,000, 1200 is in advance, means it does not belong to this year, and something that does not belong to this year, what will I do with that? First thing, if I have received rent, I will write it on the credit side of my PL account. Okay, so buy rent 5,000. This is given inside the trial balance. We first write anything that is given inside the trial balance. Written. Okay. Now, something that does not belong to this year, out of this 5,000, we are going to reduce it simply. By common sense also you can make it key. We have received it in advance. Advance rent 1200 rupees. So we are going to reduce it 3,800 rupees. I have to calculate this also. 3,800 rupees. Okay, this is something that I should be writing in the outer column of my PL account, because this is the amount that I should have received in this year. Only this much rental services I have given to my tenant, so only this much should have been received, but he gave me more than it was required, so I will reduce that much amount. Fine, according to my accrual concept. Okay, so one place I have adjusted it in. The second place is going to be here. Advance rent I have received 1200 rupees ka. This is my liability, because this is something that I am not going to receive in future, and but I'll have to give services, rental services to the tenant in future. Think? Fine. And I will not be receiving any money for this in future. Okay, 1200 rent ka we have solved. Outstanding liability for miscellaneous expenses is 12,000 rupees. Let's first see how much have we actually paid. 2,000 rupees we have paid only. So PL account ka debit side miscellaneous expense, only 2,000 we have paid. First we have written the inside trial balance thing, then add outstanding miscellaneous expenses of 12,000 rupees. This comes for out to be 14,000 rupees. Now outstanding miscellaneous expenses are always written on this side. 12,000 rupees. Okay, never write whole 14,000 rupees over there, or never write whole 3,800 rupees rent over there. Always remember we have to write this amount, the amount that is actually outstanding, or the amount that has actually been paid in advance. Okay, I hope you got it. Okay, then commission earned during the year but not received was 2,100 rupees. Let's first see how much did we receive. Commission 1,000 rupees ka we received commission. So first step, we'll write anything that is given inside the trial balance. So this is on the credit side, 1,000 rupees. I have written this. Now it is telling me the commission earned during the year was 2,100, but I did not receive it. So what am I going to do? It is telling me that I should have received this much amount also. Accrued commission of 2,100 rupees also I should have received. That means total 3100 rupees I should have received, but I did not. So what will I do according to accrual concept? 3100 rupees bante the mere, so I will write 3100 rupees in the outer column as my final income. Got it? Okay. The next place will be second place, accrued commission of 2100 rupees I am going to write, because it is an asset. I am going to receive it in future. Now the final point, this is not very important, but you should know the adjustment for this also. Goods costing 2000 rupees. This is very easy. 2000 rupees were taken by the proprietor for his personal use, but no entry was passed in the books of accounts. So every time that when no entry is passed in the books of accounts, again it has to be adjusted at two places. Anything given outside the trial balance, so one place, what will happen first, though my purchases is going to decrease because I purchased some goods. What happened? I could not sell it. The proprietor took some goods home. Okay, so it was not my sale, so I have to reduce it from my purchases as an effect. This is going to be my first effect. And second place, this has to be treated like drawings because the proprietor has taken it from the business. It was an asset and the proprietor took it from the business, so it is a kind of drawings. So two places that we are going to adjust it in is like this. First, let's find out how much purchases we had made. 2,50,000 rupees. So if I write my purchases over here, 2,50,000, so I will reduce it like drawings. He took some goods from the business. 2,000 rupees goods he took. Fine. This is the first place that I adjust it in. I'll reduce it from the purchases because of a very obvious reason ki my purchases get decreased whenever some goods are taken away from it. Fine. So we are going to treat it as a reduction from purchases. Next, we are going to treat it as drawings because he took it home. So if I write capital over here, then I will reduce drawings of goods. Drawings of goods, let's write like this, 2,000 rupees, and whatever amount was the capital, let's find out what was capital. Capital was 2,40,000. You can simply show it like this. From 2,40,000, 2,000 rupees was 2,000 rupees goods were taken away by the proprietor. Fine. All the adjustments we have done now. Let's discuss a few new points over here. First point is sometimes they'll give you carriage, only carriage, no carriage inwards, no carriage outwards, and they'll just write carriage. What are you going to do then? Always assume that it is carriage inwards. Always assume that this is carriage inwards only, and always treat it in the trading account. Got it? Whenever nothing is mentioned. Fine. Okay, one point is this. Second point is income tax paid. Whenever you get this point, income tax paid, always you have to treat it like drawings because we are assuming here that the proprietor has paid his personal income tax from the business's money. Okay, hence we are going to reduce it from the capital. Reduce from capital. So it is always treated as drawings because he took the money from the business and paid his personal income tax. Okay, next point is 12% bank loan. This is very important, very important. What happens? Sometimes they are not going to give you anything in the adjustments or in the additional information. See, they told you nothing about this bank loan. So what do you have to do? You have to keep your eyes open for any such latent adjustments. Okay, means this is kind of hidden. It was not told to you in the additional information. How are you going to find it? What are some of the signs that you can see to find out such hidden adjustments? You always have to look for this percentage sign or anything that is written in the brackets after this. Any date is given, then you have to find, then you will know that something is given in the trial balance which is hidden. Treat this as an adjustment only. Okay, means I am telling you 12% bank loan, 30,000 rupees ka bank loan we had taken during the year. No date was told to us in the additional points. No date was told to us. So what are we going to assume? We took it on the first day of the financial year. That means we took it on 1st April 2022. We are going to assume that. And whole 12 months ka interest, we are going to assume ki 30,000 paid. Whole 12 months interest we should have paid because we have taken loan. So I have to pay interest, that is but obvious. So 30,000 pay, 12% के हिसाब से I should have paid 3600 to the bank, but nothing has been given in the additional information regarding this. So 3600 I should have given. Let's see whether I have given anything. They would have written interest on bank loan. See, sorry, 2800. This is one second, not this. 2800 I have already given. Means out of this 3600 I have already given 2800. Means only 800 should have been outstanding, right? I have already given this. How are we going to treat this? See, first I am going to write it in the profit and loss account. To interest on loan. How much have I given? Something that is written inside the trial balance. I write that down first. And next I am going to write outstanding interest on loan. How much? 800 rupees only. 3600 should have been my this year's expense on bank loan. If you see this, 3600 should have been my this year's expense. Now that is what I have written in the outer column of the profit and loss account. Okay, only 800 is outstanding. Okay, now this has to be adjusted at two places, although it was not given outside the trial balance. But please understand, this is a hidden adjustment, so I am going to treat it at two places, just like I used to treat all other adjustments. Please understand this. Okay, so I am going to write it like this: outstanding interest on loan 800 rupees, and obviously I will write the amount of loan also. 30,000 rupees ka loan will also come over here, and the outstanding interest on that will also come as my liability over here. I hope you got it. Ki although nothing was given here, I still have to treat it like a normal adjustment. I have to find it. I have to keep my eyes and mind open for any such hidden adjustments. How will you find it? Look for any percentage sign, any dates, or pay attention to whatever is written in brackets. Got it? Fine. Now let's move to the next question, because I have discussed every new point that was in here. Question number 10. So now this question we are going to do in a slightly different manner. I have already done this question for you. I am not going to write everything now because there is a reason for it. I will let you know. But I will discuss it in the same manner that I have been doing till now. So don't worry about it. Let's read the question first. Trial balance we have been given, and trading profit and loss account and balance sheet. These are the things that we have to make. Okay, fine. List of things. This I'll discuss at the end. Let's first come to the adjustments as we always do. First thing is stock on 31st March was 1,24,500. So two places we are going to write it in. First is trading accounts credit side, second is on the asset side of the balance sheet. So see, I have written it like this: by closing stock 1,24,500, and second place I have written it in the asset side of balance sheet. Clear? Okay. Next thing, rent was unpaid to the extent of 850 rupees and 1500 were outstanding for general expenses. Okay, now outstanding ka treatment also we know. In the PL side, in the debit side of the profit and loss account, we are going to write this. How? First, let's find rent. How much is rent and how much is general expenses? So 10,750 and 9,000 rupees we are having. We are going to write this in the profit and loss account. 9,000 and 10,750. Clear? Then we are going to pick up the outstanding rent and outstanding general expenses and add it over here. Okay, clear? And write the final amount outside. Second place that we are going to take the outstanding expenses is the balance sheets credit side, liability side. Okay, outstanding rent and outstanding general expenses I have written. I hope this is also clear. This was so easy. 4,000 rupees are to be written off as bad debts out of the above debtors, and 5% is to be provided for doubtful debts. Clear? So according to my summary, first we are going to find out all the things that are inside the trial balance. Sundry debtors, 3,20,000, write it in the balance sheets asset side. Next, do we have any bad debts or any provisions? We don't. So what are we going to do? Just treat these. How? We are first going to write in the PL's debit side two bad debts, 4,000. First place. Second place is from the sundry debtors. You are going to reduce this further bad debts, means that happened after 31st March, and you are going to find out this balance. and the 5% provision that we have to make, we are going to make on this only. So 3,16,000 pay 5% will be 15,800. Let's just check it once. 15,800. So first place, how are we going to make this provision? Debit side of the profit and loss account 15,800 we have written, and now second place that we adjust it in is we reduce it from the sundry debtors. मुझे लग रहा है कि अब आपको याद हो गया होगा, you must have memorized it कि where do we put which thing. So this is my final amount that we have written outside in the outer column. Okay, fine. Next is depreciate plant and machinery by 10% and premises by 2%. Premises क्या होता है? What is premises? Premises is basically the place where we are doing our business. So we treat it as an asset. ठीक है? This is premises, and you can see it is 3,45,000. We also are going to find plant and machinery. Depreciate it. Where do we put it? PL debit side, and second place we reduce it from the balances in the balance sheets asset side. Got it? Write this amount, plant and machinery and premises amount, and reduce the depreciation. Show the final value in the outer column of asset side. Clear? This is also done. Now these are the two main and important adjustments that we are going to do over here. Actually, you will notice, let's read it first. One important thing, whenever you get an adjustment like this, manager is entitled to a commission of 5% on profit after charging his commission. Whenever you are getting manager's commission, always remember you have to solve all the points that are given in the additional information, and you have to write all the things that are given inside the trial balance at their right places, and then you are going to finally solve this one. Okay, always remember you have to do the whole question and then read this. Got it? I'll tell you how. I have just told you one rule that we follow while doing this. So, abhi to we have not done the whole question. This is left. Let's read it. A fire broke out on 1st April 2023, destroying goods costing 20,000 rupees. I would have done an adjustment for this, but please notice, when did the fire take place? 1st April 2023. Anything that is happening in the next financial year, we are not going to do anything regarding it in the current financial year. Clear? This is something that belongs to the next financial year. Hence, no treatment will be given in this year to this. Ignore this point completely. Clear? Okay. Now, that means we have done everything in the additional information apart from this. Okay. Let's come here. We are going to write everything that is inside the trial balance now. We are going to post everything. This is opening stock, goes where? To the trading account. Cash in hand and cash at bank are assets. It will go to the balance sheet. Balance sheet. This is my liability. Balance sheet. This I have done. Sales, credit of trading account. Salaries, PL ka debit side. Carriage outward, same thing. PL debit side. ठीक है? Purchases, trading account, debit side. Discount when discount is given in the debit side, right? That means this is discount allowed. So I will write PL ka debit side as an expense. Premises, I have already told this is an asset. Capital on 1st April 2022. Generally, what they give in the trial balance is capital. They do not add anything like this. But here they have just written it for confusion. Okay, but you have to treat it in the same manner as you have been doing till now. Just write it in the balance sheet on the liability side. This is telling you this is the opening capital, and you are always given the opening capital in the trial balance. Do not worry about that. Fine. So this has to be treated in the same manner like we have always been doing liabilities in the balance sheet. Clear? We have now written everything that is inside the trial balance and outside the trial balance. The only point that is left is this. That according to my rule, now we are going to treat this. Okay, everything that I have told you just now, all the treatments, I have already done this for you in this question. So I had written sales, closing stock, opening stock, purchases, and finally I am going to find out gross profit. This is what we do, right? So I found out gross profit. It was 60,800 rupees. It was my balancing figure. I brought it down over here. 60,800, and then I did everything that we do in the profit and loss account. Means rent I had written, and then bad debts, new provision I created, salaries, carriage outwards, everything I wrote. And what happened next? I found out कि I have a net loss, ठीक है, I have a net loss in this year 42,750 rupees. Now if you read this adjustment properly, कि manager is entitled to a commission of 5% on profit means what happens is कि कभी कभी apart from the salaries that a manager gets, because manager is an employee, he would be getting some salary, but what happens, in order to give him some incentive so that he can work in a better manner, we say कि if you give us this much profit, if you give us suppose 1 lakh amount of profit at least, so we are going to give you a 10% commission on that. So what will happen, it will give a boost to the manager कि अच्छा, I have to work very hard now and I have to earn some profit for the company so that I also get a part of it, right? This is a kind of incentive. Clear? Okay, now this is something that he will get if he earns some profit for the company. But what has happened in our question, I have got net loss, so the manager is not entitled to a single penny in this case. He forget 5%, he is not entitled to anything. Salary दे रहे हैं, वही बड़ी बात है उसके लिए. Okay, तो in this question we had net loss. That means we have to ignore that point as well. 2 points we ignored over here. One was this key, because this was happening in the next financial year, and second we ignored this point because instead of profit we are getting loss in this case. Clear? We have ignored both of these points. That means what, my whole question is complete now. I can move forward to match my balance sheet. Okay. So the net loss that I have over here, what will I do with this? I will subtract it from the capital, right? From the capital, I am going to subtract it, and this is the final amount that I got. In the balance sheet also, I had written everything I have already discussed with you, and when you will match it now, so it will come out to be 9,36,100 on both the sides, and your balance sheet will match perfectly. So basically you were given these adjustments, but you really did not have to do anything about these. You have to be very careful when you see this date, okay? Because you can sometimes get confused whether I have to treat it or not. Jaldibazi mein do not treat this in this year. Clear? Okay. And here too you got lost, so no commission for the manager. I hope this question is also very clear to you. If you have any problems, please let me know. I will be happy to solve. Okay, you can comment in my comment section. Clear? So in the next video, I will be covering from question 11 onwards. We will revise that. Till then, you are supposed to do all the questions that we have done till now, from question number 1 till question number 10. Revise it on your own as well once. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. Now if you like this video, please like this video and share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more such content. Thank you so much.